Do you have any stories on Ronnie P. Gossett? There's on a shoot interview that he once sold a wrestling territory, I believe Chattanooga, to someone, and he didn't even own the territory.
Well, no, Ronnie P. Gossett was a famous in Southern wrestling circles manager and spot show promoter and gadabout. And Ronnie was, until Kenny Bolin came along, was probably the largest manager in history. I would say he would go 500 pounds easily in his better days, and had an amazing look to him. Ronnie was also, he was a heck of a promo. I mean, he'd say stuff like, is that your face, or did your ass open a branch office? You know, and just shit like that, right? And he was fucking funny as hell. And back in the old days when Nick Goulas in the 70s was still in business, and Ronnie was in his younger days as well and more enterprising. Ronnie's dead now, so I'm not speaking ill of the dead because I loved him, but Ronnie sold Nick Goulas's territory. He purported himself to this woman with a lot of money. It was a wrestling fan, to be whoever. Somehow he did it. He convinced her he owned Nick Goulas's wrestling territory and sold it to her. And the way that Nick and everybody found out was when she called the office and said she wanted all the employees to be there first thing Monday morning for a meeting because she was the new owner and she was going to tell people the way things were going to go. And so Ronnie did spend some time in jail for that, but I think he got 40 grand and never gave the money back. But he was a classic. Google and look up on YouTube, Ronnie P. Gossett on Memphis wrestling in the 80s. He was fucking hilarious. And I used to, every time I'd see him, I'd go, Ronnie, I'm looking for something, a small to mid-sized short trip territory. Got anything for me? You know?
I just looked up Ronnie P. Gossett on Google. This is a very interesting looking character, by the way.
Oh, yeah. He looked like a human waterbed. And he took a bump for me one time at an outlaw show. We were somewhere in the early 90s. And I drew back and punched him in the face, and his jowls flew everywhere. And he jumped up in the air somehow at that size and just collapsed on the floor and just rolled. And he almost got stuck. He couldn't get back up. He was just rolling. I thought he was going to rock himself to sleep.